Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We have the ever wonderful Lori Horton with us in studio today, and we are making s'mores cookies.
S'mores cookies this morning. It's summer. It's weather's broke a little bit. We've got the fairs out of the way, so it's time for backyard
absolute barbecues,
bonfires and s'mores. So.
All right. So how do we start it off?
This one is a pretty standard cookie, whereas we always want to start with creaming those soft ingredients and then adding the dry ingredients. So I've got here my butter is already in my container, and this is softened. Big difference between softened and melted. Softened is just counter temperature. Leave it out for a while you're getting ready so that just slides right out of the package very easy, but it's not melted. Don't put it in the microwave. I've got the brown sugar and the white sugar as well, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw in a couple eggs and my vanilla. This is going to cream together really nicely and just be really fluffy and soft. And then we're going to add to that all of our dry ingredients later. Pretty standard.
Now, a lot of people at home may be thinking, well, s'mores, of course, I know that. It's the graham cracker, the marshmallow, the chocolate.
Exactly.
That's a cookie all its own. So you're kind of putting your own little spin on this, right?
We are. So no campfire necessary. We're going to do all of this in the oven, and thankfully the weather is a little cooler out, so we don't feel bad about doing that. But we've got all the elements in there. So we're adding graham cracker crumbs instead of putting this on a hard graham cracker. We're adding chocolate chips instead of those Hershey bars, and we're going to add some marshmallows. And there's some options there. I had some Lucky Charms marshmallows in my cabinet that I've just been dying to use.
I mean,
these are really fun, brightly colored, so the kids are going to love those. But of course, you can just use regular mini marshmallows, or you can even use your little hot cocoa marshmallows. I think the freeze-dried ones work a little bit better because they don't melt as much in the oven and make quite the mess on your cookie sheet. So once we have all these ingredients creamed together, then we're going to add all those dry ingredients, and we've got our flour, baking soda, baking powder, cornstarch, salt, already all together, and our graham cracker crumbs.
All right.
So I am going to slowly start to mix these in here with my wet ingredients, and I'm going to do this just with a spatula. You can do this on a big stand mixer if you have one, because you're going to need a little bit more power behind you than just a standard hand mixer.
All right.
So we'll do this kind of in little bits at a time, not all at once, because I don't like to clean up messes, and it takes a little bit of
good for you.
Little elbow grease to get that in there.
Make sure the parents are supervising, so
absolutely.
We don't have too much flour all over.
That's right. Again, if you have the big stand mixer, this will go a little bit faster, but you still want to kind of add that in increments, just so that it doesn't explode all over that kitchen counter.
Of course.
And then once we get all of this mixed in slowly, those flour, those dry ingredients, the graham cracker crumbs, then last thing we're going to do is add the chocolate chips and the marshmallows.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard then.
Again, pretty standard, not substantially different from a chocolate chip cookie, except that this one, as I mentioned, has baking soda and baking powder and cornstarch, which is a little bit unusual.
What does that do?
So what it does is it gives us a really nice, thick, puffy cookie that still browns really nicely. So that is the fun and the science of baking that takes it away from cooking.
Yes.
We have that bicarbonate, those sodium levels in there. They bind our ingredients differently, and they make them do different things. So there is always a reason where you use baking powder versus baking soda, all of those things. So
all right. Well, stay tuned as we finish making these s'mores cookies. We'll be right back after the break.